Wait. Okay. Fall of the Uchiha clan explained by a stupid child. Let's go.
Okay,
So basically, Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage of Konohagakure, was a very racist man. He hated the Uchiha for being Uchiha. So he made some questionable decisions, and that pushed the Uchiha to the brink of, like... That pushed the Uchiha, like, a little away from the village. And eventually, by the time the fourth Hokage was in office, I think, might have been the third. No, the third, then the fourth had been elected, and then the fourth died from the Nine Tails attack, and now the Nine Tails was under control by a Sharingan, a dojutsu, or eye power, only to the Uchiha. So, they were like, the Uchiha attacked the village with a gigantic nine-tailed fox. That's not very nice.
I think I heard.
In reality, it was Obito Uchiha pretending to be Madara. But Minato couldn't tell, the fourth Hokage, Minato, couldn't tell anyone because he was dead from using Reaper Death Seal. I'm getting this head.
Wasn't the nine-tailed fox thing the thing inside the guy with
Yes,
the yellow
Minato
hair?
used Reaper Death Seal to seal it in Naruto, or actually to split it in half, but whatever, doesn't matter.
Where did the other half go?
Into Minato so he could have Biju modes in the war arc. It doesn't matter. Anyways, the point is the Uchiha clan is suspected to be responsible for the Nine Tails attack. It was actually Obito Uchiha pretending to be Madara when he was brainwashed by Madara. So it wasn't really the Uchiha, necessarily. It was technically the Uchiha. It's confusing, but it wasn't the Uchiha. But everyone still susses the Uchiha. So, the Uchiha is like, I'm tired of being discriminated against. It's time for a coup d'etat.
I don't understand any of these words.
A revolt against the government.
Oh.
It's a coup d'etat.
A hostile takeover, basically.
So... And the leader is Fugaku Uchiha. And now Itachi is like, and Shisui are like, hey, revolting? We don't want to revolt against the village. That's not necessary. So Shisui has a Mangekyo Sharingan ability, which is a cooler Sharingan, if you will. He has Kodo Matsukami, which is effectively mind control. He can use it once every 10 years. The most effective version. He plans to use that on Fugaku to change his mind about the coup. So he tells that to Danzo, one of the higher-ups of the government, and Itachi also tells that to Danzo. And Danzo's like, that's a good plan. But in reality, Danzo is thinking, those are some nice eyes. I want those eyes.
I'm sorry, what?
So Danzo tricks Shisui into meeting with him, and Danzo tells that Shisui should use Kodo Matsukami on him to make sure he isn't racist against Uchiha, and then he snatches Shisui's eyes to get the Kodo Matsukami, or mind control. So, Shisui, half-blind and unable to use the effective Kodo Matsukami, he gives his other eye to Itachi and jumps into a river.
Wait, is that why the guy had like only one eye that was like a fidget spinner?
Yeah.
Oh.
So then Itachi is like, my best friend! And then he awakens his Mangekyo Sharingan, which is effectively going Super Saiyan 2. Sharingan being a Super Saiyan normally.
I've never seen DBZ either.
Whatever, it's triggered by emotional responses. Itachi being much saddened, Danzo is like, Shisui is dead. Itachi, did you kill him? Even though, now, Danzo doesn't know Shisui killed himself, but Itachi did not kill him. Did not kill Shisui. So everyone's like, did Itachi kill Shisui? Obviously he didn't, because Shisui killed himself.
Wait, wasn't, like, the sensei guy also part of the Uchiha clan?
Who?
Never mind.
Okay, whatever. So Itachi, now saddened, has only one option to get rid of the coup d'etat. Now, naturally, that is to kill the entirety of the Uchiha clan. Everyone except for his brother, including his girlfriend and his parents.
That's pog.
So he does that. And he kills everyone except his younger brother, basically. It's crazy.
On the right side, we don't know simp.
Okay. So, and then Madara, or Tobi, or Obito, we're gonna call him Obito, helps Itachi kill everyone, at least in the anime, I think. So, everyone is killed. Itachi uses Tsukuyomi on his girlfriend to trick her into thinking that she lived out her entire life with him like a picosecond. It's a really strong genjutsu, but it basically makes you think you're in another world, essentially. Tricks your mind. It's pretty nice.
So it's kind of like the mind control thing, except less powerful?
No, not less powerful necessarily, but like...
more limitations?
No, mind control lets you manipulate anyone in the real world. Tsukuyomi makes a person think that they're in the real world, or not. Really depends. So he made his girlfriend think that he lived life with her, like, completely until they both died of old age. Their entire life. And then, when she had done that, living peacefully, she was ready to die and he killed her. It was nice. Anyways, so he goes on, he kills his dad and his mom in front of Sasuke, his little brother, and doesn't kill Sasuke. Sasuke awakens his Sharingan, and then we go into the beginning of Naruto. Would you like me to explain the Uchiha's... You would.
Sure.
Okay, so the Uchiha's dojutsu is the Sharingan. Now, the Sharingan is initially awakened by a strong emotional response, like the death of your parents by your own brother, death of your best friend by suicide, or being very angry at video games. It all depends. The last one I made up.
Okay.
Don't listen to it. Anyways, the Sharingan in its first stage, when it's just awakened, has one dot in its eye. Or two, I guess. But we call that one dot outside of the pupil, we call that a tomo. Now, the way you evolve your Sharingan...
Why does everything sound like toe?
Not.
Okay.
So the way you evolve your Sharingan is essentially like the way you level anything up in an RPG. You use your Sharingan a lot, and it gains 2 more tomos, resulting in that weird fidget spinner pattern, which is a fully matured Sharingan. Then...
why is, like, sometimes there's only, like, 1 or 2, but sometimes it's 3 or 4?
There's no 4th dot.
Oh.
It's 1 because the user has recently awakened their Sharingan, 2 because they've used it enough to level it up a bit, but not enough, and 3 because it's fully matured. So then, we get into the Mangekyo Sharingan. The whole idea of the Mangekyo Sharingan is that it's triggered by another, more extreme emotional response.
Like, what?
And you already have the Sharingan. Or maybe not more extreme. It's like, I imagine the death of your own parents, and then learning that the reason your death of your own parents and your brother and your whole realizing that your whole brother's life was a lie, and versus realizing your life was a lie.
Ow.
Whatever, it's just triggered by another emotional response, and that's the Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, it grants its user 2 special abilities, 1 in each eye. For Obito, it was Kamui. the ability to transport objects at a distance from one eye into Kamui, so he can teleport your head into Kamui, so you're decapitated. And then close range, which is to teleport things near you into Kamui. You can also teleport yourself into Kamui with that eye, which he uses to become intangible by teleporting parts of his body into Kamui, and using a sort of transformation jutsu to make it appear like he's still there, when he's not fully still there. Or he can just warp himself into Kamui, and then warp him out at a completely separate location, teleporting. It's really cool. Now, Shisui's is Kodo Matsukami, or the mind control jutsu. Now, this is some headcanon kind of things, but I suspect that Shisui has a strong 10-year cooldown Kodo Matsukami eye, and then a frequent, not as strong Kodo Matsukami eye. But that's headcanon. Don't take that seriously. He has Kodo Matsukami. Itachi has Tsukuyomi, like the fifth most powerful genjutsu, and Amaterasu, an inextinguishable black flame that burns for 7 nights and 7 days, that's as hot as the sun. Itachi also has Sasuke also has Amaterasu, and in his other eye, he has Kagatsuchi and Enton Kagatsuchi. Or maybe it's just Enton. Whatever. We're gonna call it Enton. Enton allows him to control and manipulate the flames of Amaterasu, whereas Itachi can only put flames somewhere and then they're out of his control. Sasuke can make them into a sword, or he can use a fireball jutsu and then lace it with Amaterasu, which is crazy.
So
theoretically,
so you can combine two jutsus and make it better?
Kagatsuchi Enton gives him access to Blaze Release, which is basically perfect control over Amaterasu. He can make it dance through the air. He can, I don't know, turn it into a sword. Light Chibaku Tensei up, which is a whole other thing that I will get into. He can do a lot of stuff with Enton Kagatsuchi. It's pretty cool. Now, there is a drawback to this. Overuse of the Mangekyo Sharingan will cause blindness. So if you use Sasuke went blind, so did Madara, and almost Itachi did, but then he died of like tuberculosis or something. And blindness causes you.
Stuff is going on, and then you just die from tuberculosis.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Maybe not. I don't know. But basically, don't use your Mangekyo Sharingan too much, or you will go blind and you will lose all of your powers. Now, another thing granted by the Mangekyo Sharingan is the Susanoo. It's a gigantic ethereal being that completely surrounds the user. The first stage is the skeletal Susanoo, which is just a ribcage. Then that ribcage manifests weird mechanical arms, or in Madara's case, a sword. Then it manifests the full top half of the skeleton, still surrounding you and still gigantic. Then it manifests skin, and then manifests clothing and a weapon. Then it manifests armor. Then it manifests legs. And then it turns into one gigantic samurai taller than mountains. Of course, this causes you to go blind too. Now, it is noteworthy that you can use the Susanoo without your Mangekyo Sharingan out, as seen when Madara used it with both of his eyes missing. But if you are blind, you can't use it for some reason. It's very weird. I don't know. But yeah. So then we can get into the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which costs less chakra and doesn't make you go blind from using it. Also, upgrading the Susanoo requires you to use it, like, a lot.
Maybe
so you're gonna go blind. By the time you unlock the armor Susanoo, you're gonna be blind. And then your Susanoo goes bye-bye. So, the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is acquired by implanting the eyes of a close relative.
Oh, that's messed up.
Now, it isn't said you have to be blind to acquire the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, but that is both cases when we learn that is the case in both characters that have the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. They went blind, and then they got their brother's eyes implanted into them. Now, I hope... Okay. Now, I hope this is the case, because if not, what's to stop you from just acquiring the Mangekyo Sharingan, and your brother acquiring the Mangekyo Sharingan, and then you just swap eyes, and then you both get Eternal? That's not how it works, so you probably have to be blind. So, that's how you get the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. It's pretty cool. And then... Do you have something to say?
No, I'm just trying to process.
So then you have the Rinnegan, which is an evolution of the Sharingan. This Rinnegan is a result of combining chakra of both Indra and Ashura or something. So basically, you have to be an Uchiha, and you have to have, like, Senju chakra or something. Get the specifics, but that's basically the process of acquiring the Rinnegan. And acquiring the Rinnegan takes, like, multiple years for it to first appear. As shown when Madara ate Hashirama's flesh.
Oh, okay.
He didn't acquire the Rinnegan until, like, multiple decades after. Now, the Rinnegan, translating to Samsara Eye, represents the 6 realms of Samsara. Diva, human, animal, Asura,
Idiot.
Shut.
Oh, okay.
Naraka and Preta. Preta allows you to absorb any attack, basically. It's pretty cool. And it's represented by the Preta creatures, unending thirst for food and water, though they will never be able to have any. Just like the Praise Bath, unending hunger for chakra. Now the Asura path, I'm pretty sure lets you fire missiles and stuff with your arms, and Nagato used it to turn his arm into a literal cannon.
Oh.
It's pretty cool, and I think Asura's Asura path represents, like, an ability called Astria, which in I forget which religion these people can make Astrias, basically an old-timey modern-day equivalent to missiles and stuff. It's pretty cool. And then the animal path allows you...
nukes in it.
Yeah, close enough.
Pause.
So then there's the animal path, which just allows you to summon just crazy powerful animals, and they don't die, by the way. If they die, you can just summon them back and they're fine. Gigantic drill-beak bird, the Hydra, but it was a dog. Bunch of cool stuff. Rhinos, it's crazy. Next is the human path, which someone's soul's out. You rip someone's soul out.
Oh. Human Pog.
Yeah. And then, by far, the most powerful, the Diva path of the Rinnegan, which allows you to manipulate attractive and repulsive forces. So, this comes mainly in the form of Shinra Tensei, which is Almighty Push, Bancho Tenin, which is Almighty Pull, and, it does what it says it does. And then Shibaku Tensei, or Planetary Devastation. You throw a mini black hole in the air, and everything gets sucked up into it.
Wait, isn't that just the same as, like, the pull thing?
No, but because it's a black hole in the sky, and it makes a mini moon.
Oh.
And then you can make that moon... Sasuke can light that moon up with Madarasu. And Madara uses that moon as a meteor, and he drops it on people.
That's nice.
And I'm missing another path of the thing. Oh, the Naraka path, which allows you to summon the literal King of Hell.
Oh, that's nice.
If you summon the King of Hell and the Naraka path asks you a question, and you lie, he rips your tongue out and kills you immediately. Also, if you let the King of Hell, which is just a weird gigantic head, if you step inside its mouth, it'll fully heal you. So that's pretty cool as well. And then there's the Samsara of Heavenly Life technique, which lets you revive whoever from the dead, but at the cost of your own life in most situations. Obito. Cool people get it. And then certain Rinnegan have special abilities. Sasuke could switch places with people, and Madara could access the invisible realm of Limbo. Also, you can summon the demonic statue of the Outer Path.
Just your average Wednesday.
Yeah, Cookie gets it. So yeah, that's every ability of the Uchiha. Speaking in dojutsu strictly. And also the fall of the Uchiha clan. I'm not a weeb. Promise.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, stop recording. My tongue hurts.